then later on, they quit making these because it was too much work and just used the Mopar housing and cut the ends off.
Yeah.
So it would still have the same
Or
parts.
it's like each 3/4 stuff and stuff.
But he made about 10 of those, 10 or 12, I'm not sure. In fact, that car has one also. Yeah, if you look at that car. In fact, when I met Terry originally, I didn't know Terry, he didn't realize, he didn't think that the rear end was anything special. And when I met him, and I explained to him, hey, he only made about 10 or 12 of those, he didn't realize that you got something that's pretty rare, and he didn't even know it. But yeah, if you look at that car, it has the same one.
That's gorgeous.
But back in 65, 66, then on the later Woody front engine cars, like the one that I'm doing now, that's a 69 car, it's an 8 3/4 still, but it's a stock housing.
Chrysler stuff.
Yeah. And that, of course, is that's a Mickey third member, but the one that I have for my other car is actually a Chrysler.
Did you just
Aluminum.
take that off because you had the
You wouldn't
fitting
believe that
that plugs in
Chrysler
there?
would make an
Yeah.
aluminum third member
well,
for an 8
I mean, there's
3/4,
no
but
reason.
but they
Yeah,
did.
that's just hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an
I bought it
adapter,
brand new from
so
Chrysler.
I just bought it.
Start right now, and basically everybody, we're here with Tommy Allen, and Tommy, the watchdog, is going to tell us about this beautiful car of his. So I'd like to know, what is it? When did you get it, and the reason why, and how many there were made, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, Billy, this is a Woody Gilmore car, and built in the mid-'60s. I got the car in late '66. This was actually Woody's factory test car. First guy to drive this car would have been Steve Carboni, and then Johnny Mulligan, and then me. I only had the car for about a year, and I got my draft notice. So while I was in the service, and my wife sold the car to Tom McEwen,
Right.
who ran it for, I don't know, a year or so. This was the car he had before. He had the Tyran Activity Booster Woody car,
Right.
which, as it turns out, Mike Cool and myself have redone and have that car, and it's a complete original Woody car. It even has the original roll bar on it. It's never had a 5 or a 6 point cage put on it.
Right.
It's a pretty much a completely original car.
Right.
And so then, of course, I lost track of the car and whatever. I went down to Texas, and eventually my understanding was the car was crashed, and, I lost track of it.
Right.
And then the only other one Woody did was he did one for Jim Dunn that had the independent front suspension, and Jim didn't have much success with it. So after a month or two, they actually end up cutting the front end off and putting a conventional front end.
How did you find that this car behaved? What made it different than the car before? You had an RCS car before?
Yeah, yeah.
Race car specialties?
And it was a really good car, and Frank Husar treated me like I was his son. He treated me really well.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of pressure from guys on this side of the mountain. Race car specialty was over in the valley.
Right.
And all my buddies were over on this side of the mountain. Steve Carboni and Johnny Mulligan and all those guys.
Right.
And of course they were Woody guys.
Right.
And so they kept strong arming me. Hey, this is what you need, blah, 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 blah. And so finally I folded to the pressure,
Sure.
I guess,
Sure. Sure.
But the one thing about this car was it handled like a baby carriage, and it got phenomenal traction. Phenomenal.
Did that cause you a problem initially?
Yeah, it caused a lot of problems. We couldn't make enough power. To actually pull the car.
Wow.
We would hope and pray to go to tracks that had no traction.
Right.
When we had our race car, specialist car, we pretty much went to Irwindale every Saturday night.
Right.
But after we got this car, we had to go to Lyons, because Lyons was kind of, to some degree, a one-lane track. But it didn't bother us to get in the bad lane, because this thing ran just as good in the bad lane as it did in the good lane.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but it was quite an experience, and like I say, it was short-lived for me because of the Army.
Right.
And then, of course, when I got out of the Army, I got another Woody car with my ex-partner Larry Huff, which is the Soapy Sales car,
Right.
which I'm in the process of redoing right now. In fact, it's like 90% complete.
Right.
And we should have it, well, no, we will have it at the Hot Rod Reunion in Bakersfield. In fact, we'll have it at the motel on Friday night. Whether I deserve this or not, which I probably don't, I actually am one of the honorees at the Hot Rod Reunion. And like I said, whether I deserve it or not doesn't matter. I'm going to take it
Absolutely.
anyway.
Absolutely.
So we will have the soap car at the motel on a Friday night, and then of course be part of the Cackle Fest on Saturday night.
Right.
You know. And,
hey, good times, Tommy. This is the high time. You might as well enjoy it, right?
And we're probably going to have both cars there. I'll probably be in the soap car, and Ricky McDonald, you know, who helps me along with Mike Cool on the motor stuff.
Right.
He'll probably be in this car.
Wow.
So
what a great moment for the both
yeah,
of you. You know?
We're going to try and see if we can get Gibbs to let us on Friday or whatever go side by side down the Famosa track, as long as we don't get too carried away.
That's the problem. Who's going to be the last one to the finish line?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
The problem is Ricky's younger than me, so he's a little braver. See,
Yeah.
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 So,
well, that's great.
But anyway, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
And it'll definitely be there. And I hope everybody comes out and looks at it, because it's a phenomenal piece. That's a 200-inch race car specialist car, or race
Woody
car
car.
engineering Woody car.
Yeah.
One of the longer cars, Woody did, because it was shortly after that the rear engine cars came into play.
Right.
And it has a phenomenal paint job, and well, when you see it, you'll understand.
Yeah, and the closer you get to it, the better it looks, right?
There is nothing on it that isn't
Chromed?
polished, chromed, anodized,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
And painter Phil is doing a phenomenal job on it. And
that's Phil Wheatstone, right?
And Fred Hayhurst is. We actually found the original soap car in West Virginia, and so Fred Hayhurst, who redid this car, we saved as much as we could. Actually, we had help from Tom Hanna, and but to be honest with you, it was I don't know how many owners it had gone through. But it was
pretty beat up.
It was a mess. Yeah, it had your typical big block Chevrolet with a power glide in it, and so there wasn't a lot left. However, the original Hanna body was there, but again, Hanna said the best thing to do was just use the parts for templates.
Yes.
Because it was beat. It was beat.
Well, this is going to be a beautiful recreation, shall we say?
The original car.
Right,
yeah.
and it'll be fresh as a daisy.
Yes, definitely.
And an amazing thing to look at. So we're really looking forward to it, and thank you for putting the time and the effort and the money into bringing that one back too. That's amazing.
Well, when you guys see it, I think you'll be impressed. It really, it's going to be a really nice car.
Great. And we're about to start these guys up, aren't we, Tommy?
Yep, I'm ready to get in the car as we speak.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, for the interview.
All right, buddy. And then the kid is a mechanic at...
Henry called him and said that they wanted to
Okay, check this out. This has been my probably 10 years. No, it wasn't that long ago. I had this truck. Tom said, this truck has.
Will all that fit in here?
Yeah, but no.
Pour it up here. I'll move it wherever it needs to be. Because otherwise it dribbles back down the neck all over the foot.
This.
Roll it.
Do we dare light both these cars off simultaneous, Bill?
I don't care what you do, Ricky. Either way is fine. It's up to you. I mean, that's kind of a lot to manage for you. These guys are going to want you to concentrate on one at a time.
You want some more in there?
Yeah.
We have 2 starters. If you want to fire them side by each, so.
Well, the question is just keeping an eye on both simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear mine run individually.
Okay.
At least one, so
Then you've answered the
see how we're
question.
doing. See how we're doing. Then maybe a second startup.
I smell a throttle whack contest.
Yeah.
As long as they ain't a first pitching contest.
Yeah, that would be bad for business.
Right. So much you charge your operator in here.
Oh, there you go.
You happy with that?